My name is Raymon Curtis, and I am a Shasta College step-up student. I violated felony probation in Tehama County, California, and I had a sympathetic judge look at me, and over the objection of the DA, she said that she believed in treatment and she believed in programs. So she sentenced me to 120 days in Tehama County Jail to kind of get my head right, and a 14-month outpatient treatment program. Now, in the past, I've always been able to hold it together real well when I had a lot of supervision and I had a lot of like probation guidance and whatnot and support. And I could do a program. I could be one of the top people in a program. But when they would pull back all the controls, I wouldn't know what to do with myself, and I would tend to generally just sort of run amok after that, and I would get in some more trouble. But because I happened to get in trouble in Tehama County, as I was coming up to the end of the outpatient treatment program, I was offered the option. I was told that I needed to either go get a job, and they didn't care what, just so long as they knew where I was punching a time card, because probation has to be able to account for my location and all that sort of stuff. Or if I was smart, they said, here's a referral to the Shasta College Step-Up program, the Shasta Technical Education Program Unified Partnership. And I didn't know, I was like, I didn't do good in high school. I didn't know if, what I was going to do, but Taco Bell didn't sound like fun to me. So I decided, what the heck, I would give it a spin, and I enrolled. I had no idea that I was going to be a 4.0 student. I had no idea that I had a capacity for learning, and it turns out that the 14 months of outpatient treatment had taught me how to sit still in a room and not go running out screaming or freak out at anybody. I mean, I learned how to sit still. So it segued nicely into going into college, into going into a classroom experience and learning how to pay attention. But the difference is that I went from having a program that was imposed upon me by the legal system and the probation apparatus to having a program of my own that I was investing in myself with. And as that began to like dawn on me, and I was beginning to be exposed to things like critical thinking and English skills and computer literacy, I began to realize that this was me benefiting myself and becoming developing as a professional, and becoming the person that I could be, as opposed to remaining the person that I always ended up being stuck as. At the various probation offices, there will usually be a flyer up. It says, "Step up, Shasta College, step up," and it'll show like a diesel truck, or it'll show a piece of heavy construction equipment, and it's like, get your heavy equipment operator certificate, you know. And so that's what I thought. I'm like, okay, well, I will get a higher paying blue collar job, basically, is what I thought. I had no idea that I would be graduating with honors, with an Associates of Science in Forest Science and Technology. I actually just went out to a job site in Hayfort, where I got to walk the whole, it's a salvage logging operation, and I got to walk with a guy who, the job that I will have upon my graduation, I'm gonna have this guy's job. Laying out these jobs so that these heavy equipment operators and these logging equipment operators can come in and perform the work. I'm going to be plotting out these jobs, which is kind of an amazing thing. I had no idea when I was at that end of it that I was going to be coming out this end of it with this level of education and this level of understanding and comprehension of all the details that go into this. Well, I think it's an interesting little side note that I grew up in Fort Bragg, California, and when I was going to middle school and high school back in those days, little boys were being trained to be loggers, to work in the logging industry, to work in the forest industry as loggers. Or you were either going to go to work for the mill, or you were going to go out in the woods and you were going to log. And I actually loved the forest. I loved trees. I loved redwood trees especially. I used to climb them as a kid. And when during the 90s, late 80s and 90s, they came through and they logged a whole bunch of the forest that I loved, that I used to play in. and it soured me to all things logger, and I actually became a protester, and I raged against the machine and all the whole 9 yards, and that actually led to a lot of really poor life decisions on my part ultimately. But here it is, it's like I've been brought full circle, and I'm actually learning how to be a beneficial contributor to the betterment of the way things are done in the forest and with the forest. You know, I think it's pretty clear to everybody, especially in Northern California here with all the catastrophic wildfires we've been having, that well-trained natural resource professionals are short supply and high demand, and a necessary component as we move forward as a state to addressing the issues of drought, addressing the issues of resource management, and trying to get these wildfires under control. So we have to practice forestry in a sustainable way, and I'm learning how to do that. Shasta College is teaching me how to do that, and helping me form the connections within industry by my participation here at Shasta College that are going to lead to me being in contact with the various people and industry captains that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going with stuff. When I first got to the Shasta College main campus, I was 260 pounds. I had a great big old giant beard. I didn't know about professional appearance. I didn't know about how to conduct myself as I didn't know. I was an uncultured barbarian, basically. And I knew how to get along real well on a prison yard, but I didn't know how to get along real well in a mainstream environment, let alone a college campus environment. And at first there was a couple of people that didn't know exactly how to take me. I actually have PTSD, and so I've learned how to explain that. So PACE has been really super supportive. EOPS has been really super supportive. Step Up has been really super supportive. All of the people, and then some of the staff that didn't really get me right away, they came around pretty quick, and there's really good networks here within the college for people helping each other understand each other. That's what I've noticed about Shasta College. There aren't enough good things I could say about this place. There are programs, there are ways and means, and there's support here that I had no idea. I had no idea that I would be so well supported. I had no idea that I would form these connections, that I would find this way out of myself and into the world that I didn't even know existed until I got to college. Like I say, this is the smartest thing I ever did with my life.